What's up guys, we're back. It's a new day and a new Eclipse build process video thingamadinger. So super excited because today has been a long drawn out process to get where we are today. I've actually gotten comments and messages basically asking if the project was still happening because of the long gap between things because of what's happening today. So basically, if you're here with a 4th gen Eclipse, you might know what I'm talking about. If you're not, maybe this will be a little bit of a learning process for you. But Mitsubishi likes to utilize a lot of the same parts, and they basically build multiple different chassis off the same frame, essentially. So apparently, don't quote me on this one, but apparently if you have the last gen Lancer, like the 10th gen Evo looking Lancer, it's built on the same platform as the Mitsubishi Outlander of a certain year. So you can actually take the rear end from the Outlander and bolt right up to the Lancer, and you will have an all-wheel drive with many Evo parts and lots of money later, an all-wheel drive base model Lancer. With the 4th gen Eclipse, that's the Endeavor. So I took a lot of time and I tracked one down. Now, my camera card was full when I was trying to film this intro, and I went home to go delete some stuff, and I accidentally deleted the footage of me picking it up and showing how grimy it really was. So I'll post some pictures here. Yeah, it was bad. So I spent, honestly, 2 months cutting bolts, pressing bushings, ripping this thing apart, wire wheeling it, getting as much of the rust as I could off of it, and then painting it. So that's why there was such a big gap between my videos, was because I was so focused on this rear end, because it cost me a lot of money to get the rear end even though it was in bad shape, and then it cost me double that to get it to where it is today, and it was pressing bushings, cutting bolts. It was a mess. But we're here today and we got this going. So we have an entire rear end on my table for a Mitsubishi Endeavor. It's like a 2006 or 2005 or something, and it apparently bolts right up to this. Many people have done it. They go all-wheel drive with Evo parts. Of course, with the SR20, I'm going rear-wheel drive. So without any further ado, I'm going to show you what I have, show you the process that this has taken, and we're going to get right into this, and hopefully we'll have this rear end in the car and officially have a rear diff in the Eclipse. Alright, so on this table you have an entire rear end. Don't mind the purple, I actually ran out of black paint, and yeah, so here we are with purple knuckles and a purple stab bar. I'm not a butthurt about it, I like purple, it's my favorite color, but it's a little out of place. Anyways, you'll never see it, who cares? So 3 out of the 4 control arms here are discontinued. So this one is discontinued, these 2 are discontinued, and these Y-shaped ones are discontinued. So that was part of the process of it taking so long to do this, was just because of tracking new ones of those down, tracking bushings that fit, pressing bushings in, like all of this was a mess. To get it to where it is today is huge. It was a huge process. So we have the knuckles, we have the rear diff, just a coat of black paint, wire wheel cleaned up, we have new gear oil to go into the rear diff to basically do an oil swap. We have BC Extreme Lows. If you're here with an Eclipse and you're looking to do an all-wheel drive or a rear-wheel drive swap on your Eclipse with the same parts as I'm doing, word through the streets is you need BC Extreme Lows, because the shock height difference from the Endeavor to the Eclipse is so drastic that if you had an Endeavor shock, you wouldn't be able to bolt the subframe up to the car because the gap is smaller, so you need extreme lows for this to work. I lucked out because I bought extreme lows because everything should be extremely low, and I kind of lucked out in that department. But yeah, so if you're doing it, extreme lows, can't do it without them. So we have the BC Extreme Lows, like I said, the diff, the knuckles, the stab bar, new hubs. These control arms are refreshed with new bushings. These are the diff mounts. These are ball joints. These are refreshed control arms. These are refreshed control arms. We have the stab bar brackets. And here we have custom solid bushings that I had built our first step is to take these, put them in here. Now it's a super tight fit. I think they will fit. I just have to beat the snot out of them with a hammer. We got the bushings in, but the sleeve around here that I showed you that stays in here is pressure fit, and this one popped out, this one stayed. So I have my welder, probably just stitch maybe 4 spots all around it just to keep it in place. I gotta, because it's MIG, I can't grind through, or I can't weld through the paint, so I just have to grind away some of the paint and basically just throw some beads. So I'm gonna grind some paint with my Dremel, make 4 little stitch patterns on each. I'm gonna weld them both, then we're gonna weld it. Get back to you in a second. All right guys, so we're back. Bushings are in, everything's welded up. The welds actually turned out pretty nice once I cleaned them up. I laid 1 more bead over them just for safekeepings. So they're in, they're good. They come all the way through. They look really good, and I'm super happy with that. I'm gonna seal them in with some adhesive from the front and the back, just to be safe. But once the diff is in, because there's gonna be these 2 diff mounts, or necks to put in, they're gonna go in the front up here. We're gonna put those in, and then that's gonna squeeze it forward, and the diff is gonna squeeze it back, and everything will kind of settle in place. The rear diff supports in. I know the bolts are super rusty, which sucks, but it is what it is. So those are in, they're loose. Then I'm gonna bring the rear diff down, put it in the middle, and then I can lightly bolt those, bolt the bushings, and then we'll torque it all down and figure out the foot-pounds. I'm gonna set you guys up on the tripod so you guys can watch, so it's not just random clips. Let's do it. And I'm gonna do the ball joint one next. Keep it on this side. Basically gonna build the left side first. So we're gonna do the uppers, we're gonna do the stab bar, stab links, link them to those control arms, and then we can put the hubs on the knuckles, and then the axles can go in, and the BC coils can go in, and then it can go in the car. Let's do it. Alright guys, so I don't think I was recording, but I got this, the camera's all weird, I got this control arm, the upper one is on. So with this one that's sitting on top here, this was the one that caused me all the problems. So basically the bolt seized itself into this bushing, and if you look, there's a nut, I don't know if you can see it, there's a nut right there, and that is like attached to the subframe. So it's just a bolt, there's no nut, just a bolt. So basically what happened was, when, oh I'm out of breath. When I was trying to back out the bolt, because it was stuck to the bushing, it just stretched this piece here. It just opened it and opened it and opened it, and I couldn't get it. Luckily it opened it just enough that I could squeeze a cutting disc in there and cut the bolt, but I don't know, it'll be hard to see on camera, but this one is much wider than this one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my caliper, I'm gonna measure that one, and then measure this one, and I have basically a bar for my jack on the end of a socket. I'm just gonna keep tightening it and squeezing it back together until it matches. So I'm gonna do that. Next, do we want to get the stab bar on? And then we can do, pop the axles in, and the knuckles. Let's do it. And just like that, axles are in. Alright guys, so as you saw, it's finally finished. I'm still out of breath. Just ran around and cleaned under the car because I've been using it as storage because there was nothing under there until today. So now I gotta take the bolts out of the trailing arms so that's prepped. Take the nuts off the top of the BCs, shift it under, put 2 jacks under one each side, jack it up. So I might show you guys that, I might not. Probably not because my video camera is almost dead. So I'm gonna get it up in there and I'll show you guys what's up. And we're back. I'm filthy. That sucked. The rear end does not bolt up because it hits the gas tank. So I'm gonna have to come back tomorrow, drop the gas tank, slide the gas tank out, which had to happen anyways because the drive shaft couldn't go through the gas tank. So I had to do it anyways and rock a fuel cell in the back. But this just makes it have to happen faster. So I'm going home. I'm hungry. I'm tired. I've been here like 7 hours. I'm gonna go home and smash a whole pizza. Just wanted to end this video, tell you guys that we're gonna drop the gas tank and bolt up the rear end. That might be a short video, might be a long video. I've never dropped a gas tank before, but yeah, so we're gonna kill that tomorrow and I'm super excited. We made huge progress today. And yeah, so thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Show me that you're watching. And I will get back to you guys in a couple days after I post the new video. I'll post this one tomorrow before I come to the shop. And yeah, we'll get to it. We'll kill it. And SR20 rear wheel drive Eclipse soon.